skip to like 34, 33 minutes in the video, I think, where I start showing the build, and you can just pause the video as I hover over things. I just wanted to do a little intro here before I start the combat videos. Multiple clips of combat videos. I explained the first one, and then I just, turn on the music for the other ones. But yeah, it's just to showcase the build in multiple different... I changed it a little since the last video, not much, but I did tweak it a little, its weapons and its firmware. And I really like this Vex build. It's not as good as the Green Tree Vex build, I know, the pure bleed Vex build. That will always be the best one. And I still need to make my version of it. I think I have gear to do that one, but I haven't bothered trying one yet. But I still love my Minion build. It's very balanced for co-op and mobbing. And as you'll see, it's still good for bossing. Now, its biggest weakness in bossing is not really bosses themselves. It's the freaking tankiest bosses in the game that are also not good for melee hits, not good for Reaper hits, because they fly a lot, or they hover a lot, or they just move super fast a lot. So you'll see me fight the second phase of the Timekeeper, even the first phase, but particularly the second phase it always takes me like 2, even 3 minutes to kill him on this build, because he's just, after you get through the first bar, he's just hovering in the air the entire time, and it's just such a pain on a melee build trying to freaking hit him. I guarantee you, if he was slower and didn't hover constantly, this Vex Minion build could probably kill him in under a minute. Not even 1 minute, under a minute. Which, I mean, for a Minion melee Vex build is actually very good and fast, I think, for a boss killing. It's just not, of course, a few seconds like my aim and ordnance build can kill him in. So yeah, it'll never be as good for those hardest bosses, especially ones that aren't good for melee. But you'll see when I do Big Encore, Pango and Bango, and other bosses in this game, a lot of bosses in this game I actually can kill in a few seconds on this Vex Minion build, if, again, they're more stationary and I'm able to land the melee hits combined with the Reaper and then the Groundbreaker boosting all the damage on my next melee hit with Curse and everything. You can actually kill bosses really quickly, too, on a Vex Minion build. It's just not the best one. But overall, I just want to say, yeah, it's still a great build, I think. It's really good for bossing. I still think it's decent. I mean, no, really great for mobbing, I meant. I still think it's decent at bossing. I wouldn't recommend it for some of the hardest bosses, especially if they ever, like a big Encore Vault boss. It's always going to take you forever on this build. But a lot of the basic bosses and basic Encores in, like, the world map, you can absolutely take this build on UVH5 and still just farm them to your heart's content, even on this build. So it's still a great build, I think. And then in co-op, it's just great because it's also a great build because you literally don't have to do anything. I run around and I melee, and I occasionally shoot my shotgun to stack up Groundbreaker for my next melee. And I use different elements on my guns to attune differently. But for the most part, it really is just my Minion, my Reapers, and then sometimes my Spectres, and then tossing out my swarm grenades constantly. And all that combined is really what just ends the fields constantly. Anyway, I'll finally shut up now. This is supposed to be just an intro video. Here I just want to show, this is just the first 4 minutes here, 4-minute clip here of me tracking down some bighorns to kill, figuring out where to go fight some bighorns, because someone had told me that they just always one-shot you, and I'm like, that's not entirely true. I remember them one-shotting me from full health when I was, like, at a lower level. But once you reach, like, level 50 and you get a good build, I don't really notice them one-shotting me. But they will, like, take out your entire armor bar, and that's what you'll see. It's like, I kind of deliberately, I find some, and then I have my minions out, and then I just finally, it's like, I forget my minions are drawing aggro from them, which, again, makes them even easier on this Vex Minion build, because a lot of times they're not even attacking me. But I finally let my minions die so this, like, elite bighorn, badass bighorn can hit me. Like, one big honking hit. And yeah, it takes out my armor from full, but it doesn't kill me. Like, it takes out my entire, like, 25,000 armor bar, but it still leaves my health. And again, usually, I mean, they'll do those hits, but I don't think most of the time they can do a follow-up immediately. So as long as you can tank that one hit and have a good regen on your build, like be able to regen your stuff back quickly, then it shouldn't be an issue. That's what happened, you'll see, is I took this big hit, I summoned my minions, and then I killed him and got my armor back relatively quickly, not nearly as fast as usual, because usually you have to remember, on this Vex build, I would already have all my minions out, healing me constantly from the lifesteal from Teen Witch mod, as well as me like meleeing and shooting, which is also healing me. So even if I take a big hit like that suddenly, I would get my entire armor back during like in the middle of combat, like within like a second. I'm not joking, like a second I get all 25,000 armor back. So, and overshield too. And I don't think they take my armor out completely if I have overshield active too when I get hit by one of those on this Vex build. So yeah, in the meantime, I was killing stuff I came across while I hunted for Bighorn, and I realized, okay, that forested area of the map usually has elite Bighorn hordes, so let me go over there to show that guy, if he does watch this video, it's like, no, you actually can tank these hits. And this is on my Vex, much less my Amon, who needs no explanation, that has like way more shield and armor, or way more shield, and he has Infinite Scourge, which, yes, blocks that damage entirely. Like, a Bighorn Backhive can charge right into my shield and do no damage at all to me. Now, and Backhive, the boss Bighorn, he can't kill you in one shot either. Same on this Vex build. He'll take me to low health from full if he gets one of those big hits on. Again, usually I'm fine even when that happens, because I'll just restore my health and my armor very quickly on this Vex build before I take another hit like that. That would usually kill me, is like taking 2 hits like that. And then my Amon is again invincible. And here it is, this is what I found. And yeah, I realized it's like, I think he did, I don't know if he hit, no, he didn't hit me there. But yeah, I'm realizing, oh wait, my stupid Reapers are drawing aggro, and I'm just trying to get a hit from this thing. And I'm like, crap, they're already too easy as it is. This again just shows that I don't work. Okay, there was a pretty big hit, but it didn't take out my whole armor bar. I think this is the one. There it went. Like, okay, that was a really big hit. And this is like an elite modified Bad Arse Bighorn, so. Now, I'm pretty sure the Vile ones, it's the same. The Vile elite ones too, but yeah, I'll have to maybe do another video where I show Vile ones too. But yeah, I can't. I've fought plenty of them. I never noticed different.
Ready for a fight? forgotten about you.
Super not the time, dude. Got a planet of possessed people to free.
You don't care about the people of Kairos? You're here for the vault. You're just a murdered tourist. A grave robber, shooting and looting your way through piles of people who never wanted you here. You already doomed this planet and all the others when you freed Lilith. Hell follows her, and now there's no stopping it. So don't talk to me about saving your friends. At least they'll get to die without feeling your hands around their throats.
You have seen this place. I built it for Zadra. She had a soft spot for plants. And I suppose I had a soft spot for her. I won't make that mistake again.
Holy shit! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I thought Zadra had risen above sentimentality, above the coolness of inmate life, to feel, to crowding out the need to think.
big is the Timekeeper's ego? Gotta be close now.
I am enjoying a moment to myself. Stargazing. Join me, if you like. Just think, Vault Hunter.
If you had never arrived, we would still have futures, gleaming and bright, within the Timekeeper's crystalline order.
But now we all will die. Every last soul, because of you and you.
All I have ever known is forever. That is my use. Forever. Here. As the clock ticks, I remain still. My order is eternal. You are a moment that shall soon pass. So let's enjoy it.
Last chance to break.
Rejoice for your glorious end.
For you.
It's positively invigorating. Enough! Oh, free will. A rampant tumor, killing my perfect system. And why should you get to be free? All you do is destroy, while I must hold back chaos for eternity!
You think you're the prisoner? You did all of this yourself.
Is that what I look like through the eyes of a Vault Hunter? Someone who has a choice. I was given
I see your dirty face, hide behind your power, but it's done in vain. Truth is hard to swallow, so you pray to God, justify the way you live a lie, live a lie. And you take yourself, and you trust when you mean
Everything breaks. Even cages.
So let me start showing my 4 different guns. I mostly use the Soothsayer and the TK's Wave because a lot of enemies are flesh enemies, so it's always good to have incendiary. And then the rest, like Order, so a lot of bosses have different kinds of health bars on them, so I just go kinetic mostly. But you see, I still slap on a shock and a corrosive attunement gun for my attunement skill. In case I'm ever fighting like Origo or just bosses or enemies that are just pure blue or pure yellow, that's why we do that. Next, our rep kit is perfect. A brief thing about this build is we're trying to not just simply maintain infinite minions constantly, but regain our charges so that we're able to redirect our focus if we need to, like switch from 3 Reapers to 3 Spectres on the fly during combat. A lot of minion Vex builds cannot do that because they only can maintain their Reapers without really getting charges back. And we want to be getting it back. So we go Accelerator on the rep kit. And then Lifesteal, for obvious reasons, when you've seen our Teen Witch class mod, the key to tanking. So it just becomes a super tank as well every time we pop a rep kit, which is very often. For our enhancement, we just want gun damage, gunfire rate as usual. But also the gun magazine side is not bad because it actually gives the Soothsayer, for instance, which is one of our primary guns, with how many flesh enemies are in the game, it gives it an extra shot. Now, it goes from 2 magazine size to 3, but even though it spends 2 ammo, the second shot is not half damage. It's still full damage. So it's like having 4 ammo. It's like having 2 full extra shots before having to reload. So it really helps the Soothsayer be the Doom shotgun. All right, next, the shield. There's really not much to say about this, just a bunch of tankiness. I just went for a purple that gave me a lot of armor, and it's not the best one you can get by any means either. I'm considering using the Soldier Power Play Legendary Shield, but I'm only going to use it until I get one, which I haven't yet. I'm trying to get one with Turtle or Shield Capacity, something that increases its shield, so I can still maintain the super tankiness I want on this build. But then, yeah, that would really help maintain the overshield, and then also because I would really just get it for the movement speed, if anything. The fire rate's nice, but it really wouldn't help us hardly at all. The ammo replenishing doesn't really help us hardly at all either. Like, it would mostly just be for the decent extra movement speed to go with our movement speed buff we already have. And that would go good with the build. So I'm considering it. It's just, I don't know, because that's like the only reason I would use it. That's why I'm still just using an armor kit for just more durability that way. But we'll see if I use it, though, in the future. You can use it. It's not really that big of a deal, though. Bread and butter. It's Teen Witch mod. This is what lets us be invincible, especially on a minion build, because our Reapers are just healing us automatically by just hitting things. Same with Spectres. And then that's also why you'll see we use the Vampiric Grenade Swarm that homes on everything, because just tossing that in the field constantly is also healing us a bunch constantly. We changed up our firmware from the last video. I'm no longer using Googe, because even though I'm a cooldown build, I realized that 10% cooldown, which is even less than what it actually gives you. Realistically, that is, once you stack more, it's not helping us hardly at all. And the main thing is just that now with caffeine, with our Order rep kit is what really, and the Accelerator, that combo is what maintains our skills a lot better. So I gave that up to stack even more damage to give us God Killer here, and then you'll see God Killer also, because that God Killer increases boss damage, not simply elite damage. Bosses count as bad arse enemies, so that's why we use it. And then we went another point and real fist, so that we get 50% melee damage, which, again, melee damage applies to your minion, your Reapers, just like gun damage applies to your Spectres, too. And then Action Fist, because Action Fist obviously gives us even more melee damage for Reapers, plus it gives us action skill damage to help the Spectres, too. Again, this build is like a both. It's Reaper focus, but you'll see we stack so much stuff that helps our Specters too. Like our class mod has 20% damage on all sources, for instance. I like that more than melee damage because it helps our Specters as well too. No, and I forgot to show it, but yeah, here it is, the Vampiric Swarm Grenade. It's just perfect. Especially, I forgot to show this one, but I have a purple class mod that is all crit hit chance based, including Ordnance, Gun, and Minion one. I keep it for whenever I need to do the 1 crit wonder modifier. So I switched my legendary Teen Witch class mod for this purple mod. I didn't show it, but it's not a big deal. I barely ever use it. It would just be for the 1 crit wonder event or modifier wildcard mission, since I have no crit hit chance on this build. Switch to this purple one. It gives you Ordnance crit hit chance and skill and melee crit hit chance, so my Reapers and Specters are able to instant kill things. But also the fact it applies to my grenade here. This Swarm Grenade is just instantly wiping the field in 1 crit wonder because it tosses like 20 homing projectiles, all with crit hit chance to instant kill them when you equip any kind of crit hit chance for it, basically. Now to the skill tree. This is just the green one we get from our class mod. I don't really focus on this one. It's just, it's, more damage, so more damage is more damage. Then we actually go into the red tree, getting bonuses from both our class mod and going 5 points into Blood is Magic, giving us a huge action skill damage increase for both Reapers and, again, Specters. So our Specters also shred things. I mean, you see in these videos, they were shredding flyers, especially. This is ironically one for trouble that we don't use, but it also increases the health of our Reapers to help keep them alive so we can maintain them again. It's mostly just to get this next one, which is this one that gives more melee damage, as well as Ordnance damage for what that's worth. But the main thing is just another decent melee damage buff. We didn't go all 5 points because we couldn't. But yeah, it's like, okay, I realized I could go down and at least get 3 points into more melee damage, so might as well do that. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but you saw in the red tree, I also used the Hasty Fiends for movement speed and damage reduction for me and minions too. Self-explanatory again. But you see here, we're using this one for more gun damage for us, but mostly, again, a gun damage for us, which is, you'll see in the specialization tree, helps the Reapers too, because it gives more melee damage too. So a decent buff for us, but then also a good buff to Specters. So again, just helps the balance of the build. Then we go Cursed Blade, which is decent on its own, but it's also, we get the extra curse here too, as you see. That combo helps us stack up a decent extra damage on basically boss enemies that we're focused, that we and our Reapers are both focused on. Fellow Inscription's maxed out, obviously, for obvious reasons, a bunch more melee damage for me and my Reapers. Recurrence, and I'm just not even going to name the rest. I'll show them now in this rest of this clip. All the, like, reverberations, too. All of these that you see now are, I don't feel like I need to explain them. It's just a bunch more damage stacking over time, basically, for both me and Reapers. And survivability, too. So then we get an extra charge to Dead Ringer. So, again, we can maintain minions better and have more at the ready when we, as we're also trying to regain our charges, too. So better to have even more to regain, too, during combat. And obviously, Dead Ringer, our skill. Don't need really to explain this. And now Dark Pact and our augments, Coven and Hellish Harvest, to get 2 augments from Dark Pact. This triple is pretty much self-explanatory. This is also the key. If you start like a new Vex build at like level 30 UVH1, you can already out the gate maintain 3 Reapers forever, just from these 3 things. I mean, you won't be able to regain your charges consistently, and you might eventually lose your Reapers, because you need to get more action skill reductions to help with that. You still need that to an extent. But if your goal is to simply and only maintain 3 Reapers perpetually in combats, then this is literally all you need. And that's why it's so OP for a level up Vex build, because you can immediately get this out the gates and already have 3 Reapers doing everything you need them to do, taking all the damage off you, and you just casually stroll around looting the bodies as they kill them when you're leveling up on Vex. Because obviously Dark Pact lets you pick up 2 augments, so go Coven for health regen on Reapers, that heals them, and it heals your Spectres, so you can use your Spectres a little bit more too, but they're a lot harder to maintain as Reapers. And then you get Hellish Harvest, which honestly, it gives them a huge damage boost too. Like, it's just, I don't know why you wouldn't use it. It's a lot more damage for them, and a lot more healing, so they just stay alive from their own hits constantly too. And then finally, Dark Pact itself gives you a great buff. It has a long cooldown, but it's also a decent duration and a very good buff, where it literally restores their health, and then when it's over, it resets their health regen, so you don't have to constantly, like it just resets it back to the neutral amount they were declining at, helping you maintain them even better. And then during the duration, it's also a very good damage boost. It increases their swing speed by a lot. It's basically like a flat extra, like 50% DPS on your Reapers during it. So yeah, this triple augment capstone combo is just a necessity on a Minion Vex build. Finally, for specialization, the best defenses I use on pretty much everybody at this point. Self-explanatory, very easy to maintain our health, our armor, especially since we get overshield constantly too. So we pretty much always have the maximum buff, or at least close to it, and it helps all our damage. So it's just like, all right, Reapers, check, and Spectres, check, and our own gun damage and our own melee damage, check. As I said before, this build is about not just maintaining your minions, but regaining your charges, so you can also switch them up as needed to during combat. So now with caffeine is essential if your goal is to regain your charges during combat constantly. And of course, I Am a Gun helps our action skill damage, which not just helps the Reapers, it also helps our Spectres, and that's why we use that instead of the other one that only increases melee damage based off gun damage. And then finally, our bread and butter synergy for boss killing. Again, this isn't the best boss killing build, but it at least doesn't take forever to kill bosses typically. And the key to make sure it doesn't take forever to kill bosses on a Minion Vex build in the end game is, of course, Groundbreaker. And, shotguns are great because they do a lot of damage close up, and you just switch, and they still let you use your melee quickly, like quick animations on your melee. So you just shoot a couple times, do a lot of damage, melee, do a lot of damage. Your Reapers stack up Groundbreaker too. They're constantly hitting things. So Groundbreaker is perfect on a Reaper Vex build because your Reapers are just pretty much almost perpetually giving you store damage. That's why you saw in a lot of my videos, almost every melee strike I do is killing a fodder enemy from full or in at least one hit, at most 2 hits. And believe me, that is extremely hard to do even if you stack a bunch of melee damage as I do in this build. Because I don't have a skill that helps that boosts my melee damage like Rafa's blades do, or Eamon's Onslaughter boosts his melee damage. It becomes Rocket Punch, does a lot more damage on its own. I'm just using the basic Vex melee. And yet you see I actually do more damage than my Rocket Punch Eamon sometimes. And it's again because of Groundbreaker, which he uses too, but the thing is my Reapers are just helping the Groundbreaker consistent damage from it constantly. So, yeah. Oh, and of course my Vampiric Swarm Grenade. That's another reason I use it, because it's just constantly. It doesn't do much damage, so it doesn't store much damage, but it's just constant, and that's why I like it. And then when I fight a boss, the combination of my shotgun with my 3 Reapers all hitting the boss at the same time is, as you see in these videos, enough sometimes to one-shot some of the bosses you saw. Not enough to ever one-shot, of course, like you saw the Timekeeper. And those fights will always take a long time. That's also not just because it's a melee Vex build. That's partially the reason. The big reason, as I explained, is because they're freaking flying, hovering enemies like bosses that just move around constantly, so you just can't hit them with your melee consistently. That's really the big reason why it takes me forever on this build to kill them. But most other bosses, if they're not just moving annoyingly like Shadow Pelt, and also they're not like flying where you literally can't melee them. If they're bosses that you can consistently melee like a normal enemy constantly in the fight, then they're going to die super fast too on this build too. Like, this build is still very good at killing a lot of bosses in the game fairly quickly. And the key is Groundbreaker. And with that, I'm finally done.